Hello. I might have quarantine hair and a face that doesn't care, but boy, we are spilling the tea today. As of this week, I've decided to unfortunately delete my account because, like all good things, everything must come to an end, like my breath. 'Cause damn, this corset might have these killer curves, but boy, these curves are killing me. My shortness of breath is shorter than my shortness of stature itself. Gosh, it's hard to breathe. But what is the news? What is the tea? Oh darling, may we spill. Founded in 2016 and owned by a Chinese company, TikTok has faced all sorts of conspiracy theories. I mean, we all knew that TikTok was a dodgy app from the start, whether it's them discriminating against people of colour, the LGBTQIA+ community, disabled people, poverty people, to the extent where even if you do not look poor, this TikTok algorithm is scanning my background to, and I quote, make sure that there are no cracks in the walls, whether there are no fields of impoverished content, though apparently really nice looking, aesthetically pleasing backgrounds and gardens and shit, they go down well. If you do not look like they're like perfect Aryan 10 out of 10 society, they don't want you. They want to appeal to a wider audience, which is why they only want to showcase good looking people, young people, and people who look like they've got their lives together. And granted, a lot of stuff still gets through. Because a lot of the people that I follow are notably LGBTQIA+. Like, if anything, poor people need fame the most. Like, I don't get why TikTok is discriminating against those who might live in certain socio-economic statuses, or those who might live in a country which it's typical to have like cracked walls and fields. Like, it proves that the people on the other end are human, like they're easier to relate to. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to be more inspired by this kid like just down the street. Like, if he's doing his thing, he's dancing, he's having a really good time and he's killing it, if he's amazing at what he does, I feel like that personally is going to be more relatable and more authentic to me than some airbrushed rich kid who has never had to work a day in their life and will never face any real struggles. Like, if they're doing their thing, good on them. But for me, my heart sings more to see the underdog getting it and getting fame and just going somewhere with their life. And for TikTok to discriminate that's like, it's really shitty if you think about it. Like, the wage gap is real, and I know people on Instagram, like I know YouTubers who like they've had their life completely changed just because of like what the app has done for them with the connections they've made. And like, it feels like for TikTok to be discriminating against people who need that the most, it's like shooting you when you're already down, and that's really low. With TikTok going out of its way to scan backgrounds of like poor people and people who just like don't fit their algorithm, I kind of wondered like what else they are doing. And when I had a look today into like some of the news articles published about them, it really was quite disturbing, to the point where you can't even like upload content about the police, you can't upload content that's political, you cannot upload any content at all which might be talking about what's going on in your country, because, and I quote, like, state pride is a thing, cultural honoration, which I get. We don't appropriate other cultures around here, and we don't like take the piss and make a mockery out of people's ethnicities and all that. But if you cannot even talk about what's happening in your country, about what's happening in people's lives and things that you might be in danger, because I've seen like kids uploading videos that are documenting abuse. It can be like evidential stuff, like kids and teenagers will upload evidence of what is going on in their home lives, and that's a really good platform for that. If I can't even trust an app to be authentic, like, I know all apps are kind of crap. All apps are crap. All apps are crap. Like Facebook and Instagram, we know they're kind of like owned by Zuckerberg, and like Instagram's really gone, like their reporting system unfortunately has gone really downhill with quarantine, though Facebook I noticed hasn't. Like, YouTube's got its own drama, but they have at least strived for some level of authenticity throughout the whole progress to a younger generation, one where adults might not necessarily be on. And if you cannot And in my personal opinion, if you cannot document what is going on in the political unrest in your country on an app, is that app really safe? Because, like, believe it or not, apps shape our lives. My life's been shaped by Instagram, by TikTok, by YouTube, by Facebook, and I want to be authentically myself on these apps. But if I'm getting shut down, like one girl, she posted up like an eye makeup tutorial, and like she managed to drop like what was going on with the Uyghur Muslims in China. China owns TikTok, and she got her account taken down, and TikTok lied. TikTok has a track record of lying. They lied and they said, we haven't done anything to our account. We don't know what you're talking about. And then when they finally reinstated your account, they're like, oh, oopsie, it was an accident. And they changed their story several times. And that's another thing TikTok's been known to do. In its strives for betterment to create a more aesthetically pleasing app, they have actually stolen other people's content. Like, apparently Beach Girl, the hashtag on Instagram, is one they troll quite often. Like, they're pulling people's videos off Instagram, which are like, I don't know, girls at the beach, I imagine, but like aesthetic, good-looking videos which promote the idealism they want their app to be associated with. They are pulling them off other social media platforms, and they're creating these fake spam bots which will just upload the content, and then that content might get pushed to your device just so you've got like an endless stream of content that they want. TikTok doesn't even seem to be hiding it, and if they are, they're doing a really bad job. And if I cannot even trust an app to try and be honest, like if they're blatantly going out there to steal other people's content, to openly admit, oh yeah, we discriminate against this wide variety of people just so you'll stick around on like that app, that's not encouraging trust. That's not encouraging a good relationship with their users. And if anything, I feel like when an app goes out of its way to push these people down, that's not a good user experience, given that most of us who are on the internet are admittedly on there to try and escape from whatever our reality is at the moment. Whether we're going online after a hard day's work, whether we're catching up with what our friends are doing during lunch breaks, whether we're just going on to check on our friends, we're there because we don't want to be in real life. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, we need a break. It stands to reason that people who are a certain type, like teenagers, people who are studying, because damn, that shit's stressful. Regardless of who you are, there is a certain sort of people who undergo stress, hard times, like they might be working really hard, and they are naturally going to gravitate to TikTok because TikTok provides an environment with its sound bites available, with its dances, with its challenges. We go there to escape. We go there to take these challenges and just have a good time and have fun. So that stands to reason that TikTok's user base is going to be a larger amount of minorities than in your day-to-day life. And with TikTok really open about how badly they treat its people, like, I know all apps have problems, but where are you drawing the line? Like, if we keep using these apps, they're just gonna get away with more and more shit, and they have, like, with all the people who are trying to speak up about the concentration camps going on in China, like, TikTok shuts things like that down so fast. Whether it's because they don't like controversy surrounding their app, or whether it's because they're Chinese based themselves. And I'm purposely trying to keep political rumours and stereotypes about the Chinese government out of this, but it is really concerning when every second article on the internet about TikTok is uncovering some new scandal about them or the way they treat people. It's not a good look. And even though other apps are shit, they at least they avoid a lot more scandal than TikTok just seems to be flying into a left, right and centre. At the beginning of quarantine, I decided to undertake and keep a TikTok account to document my progress with pole dancing, because as everyone knows, you can't really pole dance at whatever studio or club in quarantine. Another thing that I noticed about TikTok is there is a really dark underbelly to it, which you would never expect for being an app catering to kids and younger people. But let me ask you, anything that's designed for kids, anywhere where kids go in large numbers, who else is going to be there? Predators. And what sort of vibe do predators bring? Not a good one. And the thing about vibes is they attach themselves to you and they rub off on you, and you don't have to be airy-fairy at all. But I've noticed, like, even with the way the kids act on there, like, it can be really nasty, and like you might not see it on the surface, but you don't have to go far to just see this like really twisted underbelly. Like even with me, I don't like the person that's making me become. Like that's another thing about TikTok. You can blow up on there really fast if you're a certain type of person, and that's mainly the person who fits their very narrow stereotype. Anything that is like very shallow and very surface level and very like easy to like generic is probably gonna blow up on TikTok fast. And I found that throughout quarantine, I've got a lot of publicity on TikTok. Like I'm not like obviously, but the person I was having to become on TikTok to blow up and get anywhere is not who I want to, is not the person I want attached to where I want to go.
We would like to gather here today to offer the following artists one of this very prestigious award. South Dakota lady! Come on, lady, a TikTok famous them clappers, girl, show 'em off!
Okay, so I had to switch to my phone because unfortunately my video camera died, but where was I? I do not like the person that I am becoming on TikTok, and something that I've always said to younger people, something I've always regretted about my past is when I was in high school, I was a homeschool, so when I was at high school level, I've always regretted not studying more and not putting more effort. Like I know towards the end it was really hard and I was just not understanding a lot of things, but I feel like I just did not understand how much that knowledge, the extra knowledge and level of education would benefit me in future. And I'm starting to wonder, like, has that period of time ever really ended for me? Like, am I sitting here now not realizing the future that I could potentially have if I just worked a bit harder? Like the time that, like, it's really easy to waste time on TikTok. Like every video is not going to go for more than a minute. Like most are 15 seconds or less. Like you can just scroll through one, like it's hardly anything, or you can scroll through another. You're just hoping to get that one video that will really make you laugh and smile and like just feel good. But then the next thing you know, it's like 3 hours have passed, like you've not done anything. And like I really want to get somewhere with my art and my YouTube channel and just where I want to be in general. And like I've sacrificed a lot to get to where I am, and I don't want this to be another repeat of my high school experience going like, damn, I really wish I had studied harder or tried hard. I really wish I had reached out for help. So with everything I've just noted, like whether TikTok's shady because they discriminate against literally every second person on there, whether they're blatantly lying about what they do and they don't even care to hide it because they know there's always going to be more people who download the app, because teens, the people who use TikTok, I don't feel like they care. Like we all care when someone dies, but I don't feel like they care that, oh, this happened a while back. Like TikTok's known for this. Like they just want to get on there and have a laugh with their mates. But at the end of the day, there's like, I've got a whole list of friggin' bad things that are attached to TikTok, and like I know we can't stop them, like I know we can't really change the world, but and it might not be much to you, but I just feel like it's not worth being on there. Like with where I want to go, like I don't even have Twitter figured out, and I've heard that Twitter's like a really good way to get opportunities and network with people. Like I heard that there's this Twitter hashtag, it's called Portfolio Day, and when an artist partakes in that, like there's these Twitter scouters who like, they'll be looking through all the artists that upload on like Portfolio Day, and they offer them jobs and employment. Like there's just too much shit. And like there's a song actually, Keisha herself, she said, TikTok on the clock. just like the clock, TikTok is ticking and your time is running out. And I want to ask you, should you really be on TikTok yourself? Like, I understand if you've got it figured out, like, people who are on Instagram and like YouTube, like that, those are time wasting apps too, but there are people who have potential on there, people who want to make a career on there, and like, is TikTok giving you the potential for a future that you want, or are you just on there because you cannot handle your now? And if you cannot handle your now, why are you so content to sit there in your now? Like, I know TikTok is probably distracting you from a lot of what you're going through, and I know that TikTok's probably like the feel good for now, but why are you saying to yourself that this is okay? Like, the situation you're in now, why is that okay for you? Because sure, TikTok might take you out of that moment for now, but that's only for now. It's like a drug. It takes your mind off the problems, but when you come back to it, your problems are worse. So I personally am choosing to delete TikTok because I find it's not working for me. If you are still using it, no shame on you, no judgment, but I'd just like you to consider, like, if you had to live forever trapped as you are now in the same situation with like the same student debt, like dead-end job, whatever, like if you had to live forever as now, would you be happy with that? And if you're not happy with that, then what is TikTok doing to help further your future and to help give you more opportunities and potential? That's all I'd like to ask.